Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, February 2nd. I told Landon, I said, we can do a show tonight, but I will not talk about anything that's happened this week. This is positive vibes only. Me and Landon, and actually our producer tonight, Dylan, about to get on a plane for Vegas. I don't know why we should upset ourselves with that news, but I guess we have to, Landon.
Maybe this makes the weekend a little better.
Talking about Florida?
Yeah, well, like if you start low, you can only go up from there.
That's a good point. Thank you for Tennessee for ending my Wednesday on the worst note possible. Thank you for your service. We certainly appreciate it. We are going to talk about that night in Gainesville. I really dreamed of a Grant Williams moment there at the end, especially, Tennessee takes the lead, fairly late and well into the second half. I really got a vision across kind of like a Sports Center bar going across of Zakiah just chomping, and it never came to fruition. It's very upsetting. Colin Castleton looked like an All-American against Tennessee. I don't understand. I never will understand. I'm glad I am not in possession of a firearm at this moment. But we are also going to do Tennessee Mount Rushmore. Landon sent out a great question the other day. Some great responses. I think my favorite, before giving away too much, was Jared Dickey hitting just Drew Gilbert. That's it.
Just put him on.
I agree. I certainly agree.
Drew Gilberts. That's a lot of Drew Gilberts. I don't know if the world can handle 4 Drew Gilberts.
Twitter certainly cannot.
No.
Oh my gosh. Arkansas fans honestly kind of want to see it now. I kind of want to see that anger. Why not?
That's what they need. Instead of more porches, we just need a Mount Rushmore up there.
Of different Drew. See, that's what I was thinking too. Different Drew Gilbert bat flips. He's got to have at least 4 we can work from.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Probably just for LSU alone, he has 4. Right.
I don't know if you missed it yesterday either, but it was National Signing Day. I really miss. I guess you kind of get it with early National Signing Day. There was just something special about that first Wednesday in February, man. I've missed it. No more. I really missed it. But we'll talk about how Tennessee wrapped up. Obviously, still some transfers that could come in late, but we'll talk about that freshman signing class that came on. Tennessee also hired an tight end coach. They already hired an offense coordinator, but had to replace offense coordinator and tight end coach because of that. Alex Golish getting the head job at USF. We'll talk about that. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. We got a few we'll get to tonight, and then we've also got Stupidities and Epidemic. Before we get into the meat of the show, I do want to give a shout-out to our good friends over at Underdog Collectibles. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectibles store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Guys, they do some great events. Make sure you're following along to get up on all those. We also did a giveaway with them. You got a preseason All-American, and we've called our shot. You also would have gotten a future All-American and Maui Ahuna signed picture. So don't miss out on that stuff. Stop by the University Commons Shopping Center next to Publix and Domino's to check them out. Open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. And remember to always bet on the Underdog. I want to give a round of applause and a shout out to Underdog Collectibles, the best in the business. We love them. They're the best. All right.
Yeah, and don't miss those giveaways. We're hopefully do more of those and more NIL events, so don't miss those as the season goes on. Here we go.
I like how you let it off. That's the most – listen, I really think this team's – I think this team's really good. And I know you're going to hear that and be like, Caleb, did you watch Wednesday night? And I get what you're saying. But that's the most frustrating part about that game. If the team wasn't really good, why would we care? And I don't entirely – I mean, yeah, you can point at, shooting, especially from three. You can look at rebounding, and it all makes sense. I just don't really get how this team got. Like, I just don't get it. I don't think you could replay that game 100 times. I'm not even saying Florida wins. I don't think you could play that game 100 times and it end up just that. It was ugly. It was an ugly game all around. Florida didn't play great either. It was just ugly.
Yeah, that's why, somebody was like, why do some Florida guy was just like, oh, we didn't storm the court because we have class, but he forgot that they stormed. I guess that was going to be my stupidity, but I'll go ahead and get into it. They stormed last year and got fined for it. Well, it wasn't like Florida played great. So, what are you storming for?
Yeah, I don't get it. And, it hadn't been 15 years since you beat Tennessee. So, context, guys, it matters.
Right. Yeah, just offense, man. I just don't know. And I don't think the team knows. And I think that's the issue. Is just they don't have it's the same thing as last year. Kenny Chandler was the only guy that could get to the hole. And this year, Zakai is the only one that can blow past somebody to get inside the paint. That's a guard. I mean, there's no reason why Josiah Jordan-James and Santiago Vescovi is 4 for 23 from the field. Ever.
Yeah, you're not going to win when those guys you rely on to score do that, certainly. Zakai puts up 15, but we know that wasn't his best performance in terms of output and what he can do on the offensive end of the court. I'm not just talking about scoring. He just struggled. And I've been harping on this all year, and I think it was an issue. And you saw it late in the game. Josiah takes, a pretty well-defended three pretty early in the shot clock and gets chewed out by Barnes. They're just impatient. And I don't know if it's because they know they don't have that go-to guy that you just mentioned, but it just looks so impatient at times. And that's just a bad formula, man. That's a bad formula.
Yeah. I mean, it was just hard to watch. I mean, there's just I just feel like we're so lackadaisical on offense. We stayed at one side of the court, or, Josiah just chucked up a three, way early in the shot clock. And I think Rick Barnes, ripped him out as soon as that happened. But, I mean, just stuff that was just uncharacteristic from this basketball team that we've seen, who just beat the number team in the country like a drum. And then we go into Florida and just lay an egg. And I think the most frustrating part is for Tennessee fans is March is you have to be consistent. The most consistent team wins March Madness.
Yeah.
And Tennessee just isn't that.
No, you can't argue with that they're not that right now. I don't understand why this team can't be that, though. And again, I'm not saying they're great or anything, but it's just very frustrating because you see those moments from them that come alive. And I really thought walking away from that game, I was going to sit here and go, man, that was an ugly midweek SEC road game. But Tennessee escapes with a win. I really thought, like I said, Tennessee takes that lead well into the second half. I thought this was a discussion we were going to be having, and it's good to carry that into the weekend versus Auburn. And you don't get that from Tennessee. And the thing that pisses me off the most is I don't even want to talk about the officiating because you just got beat. And the officiating was poor, and I want to complain and whine about it, but I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I wish I could. I really do.
Yeah, Tennessee didn't help themselves out any.
No, it's someone – I wish I could find the tweet. I should have screenshot it. Someone even said you can overcome one of the three in terms of officiating, shooting. I don't know what the third one was. I mean, we didn't have a bunch of turnovers. We didn't rebound too poorly. I mentioned that early, but it wasn't – you out-rebounded them, so it wasn't terrible. I'm still very disappointed. We probably got so many rebounds, and they got so many rebounds because there weren't a lot of shots that fell. It was pitiful. It was ugly. I hate yelling. But
when Tennessee leads the SEC, and Tennessee's not a great shooting team by any means, they lead the SEC in assists. And last night, we just didn't have it. I mean, Zakai had been lighting it up with assists throughout SEC since that Kentucky game, and he only had 3 last night. He had 10 against Texas.
Yeah.
And maybe some of that's because, people didn't knock down the shots. But, this team, usually does a great job of sharing the basketball and getting, switching it and cross court and, just getting people open because they don't have guys that can just blow by somebody. And that just didn't happen. And a lot of that credit to Florida, they didn't let Tennessee get out in transition because as soon as they weren't worried about a, offensive rebound, as the shot was going up, they were getting back on defense.
Yeah, and that's going to limit. I mean, Tennessee's been living in transition lately, and it looks good when they do so. And that team just wouldn't let it be. So it was so. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this game other than just ugly. Yeah. I really don't. And it's sad and it's depressing. And I feel like I probably sound like it's the end of the world, but it's not. But it is just like, how can you have hope? You mentioned Tennessee is not consistent right now. The most consistent teams win in March. How can you be hopeful? And it's really frustrating because I feel like the play inside has been good enough. Combine that with the guard play you've been getting, and it just looks like a really deep team in March. That's what we've talked about it consistently. Guards carry you in March, and it doesn't look like you're going to be able to go very far.
Yeah, at some point, like those guards got to go get a bucket.
You don't have anyone that can or will.
Yeah,
I guess Zakaya.
I think Julian could be that, but he's not aggressive. He don't take enough shots.
And that's frustrating too because he hit a stride there. Mississippi State, obviously, in that area that he just looked more confident, and that whatever's happened has gone away.
Yeah, and Dylan put in here we were 90% from the free throw line. We don't get to the free throw line enough, and part of that is because we can't blow by anybody to get close enough to draw a foul. I think Julian Phillips is the only one that can do that. I
said I wasn't going to whine and moan about officiating, but I'm sorry, I have to say it. Colin Castle could have tackled someone last night, and he wasn't getting a whistle blown on him.
No. The bad part about they made Colin Castleton look like an All-American. He's not that great, and that Florida team's bad. Again, you said let's call a spade a spade. That Florida team is not good.
No, especially guard play. We talk about guard play is not.
They bodied our guards. They were physical. They kept them out on three and forced them to hit shot. And Tennessee had some good looks. They just can't knock anything down, and that's the problem. It would be different if they just beat us up, but they really didn't. We just couldn't knock down shots, and that's alarming for me.
Yeah, certainly. And
in a close game, you need guys that can knock down shots, and last night for whatever reason. And we're getting back to this point where Kentucky, we're like, all right, Colorado. You lose a close one to Arizona, and you're like, Kentucky. You're like, man, that stinks. And then they pull us all back in till we think we're the best team in the country, and then they lay an egg against Florida. I can't trust this team. I'm sorry. I want to, but I can't.
No, and they do. Hey, let me just get you ready for some heartbreak. This last stretch of games where they're going to have to really figure out ways to win. They can get you bought back in. You've got a tough stretch coming up.
Yeah.
And you've got to find a way to consistently knock down shots. You've got to find someone that is your go-to on the offensive end, that when you're in need of a point, when you've gone through a long stretch of not being able to score, Florida, Auburn, God, if Vandy ever goes on 9-0 run, do not let me near a firearm. That you need someone who can go get you a bucket in those stretches because Tennessee doesn't have that right now. And until they do, everyone wants to see Rick Barnes call timeouts. And listen, I know it's frustrating, but what is a timeout going to do in those stretches? You get frustrated with the way he calls inbounds and offensive plays. So what is a timeout going to do anyways? But I think that's not going to help you. That's not going to score points for you. And so, yeah, it's frustrating, but that's not going to score you points. Who can you go to in the offensive end, a la Grant Williams, and someone get you a bucket to stop that run?
Yeah, they're also going to have to find some big is going to have to, pull apart from the rest of the pack, because that was horrible last night from them. They let Colin Castleton do whatever he wanted. In the last 10 minutes, Colin Castleton outscored Tennessee's entire team 12-10. That's crap.
Oh God.
And it looks like, again, back to the same thing as last year, who was the team that took out Tennessee in the NCAA tournament? It was Michigan. What they have? A big that can score the basketball, and Hunter Dickinson. And Oscar Sheboy, he did it against Tennessee. It just seems like a common thing. Tennessee's Achilles heel is their bigs. I know the guards didn't shoot well, and that didn't help anything. But there's no reason why Colin Castleton just took over a basketball game like that. I don't know why. They said on the broadcast he's made, 2 or maybe 4 jump shots this entire season, and we're going up for ball fakes. Why?
That one, I think he went under Kumwa. That one where he goes under, he doesn't even turn. You know, he does that pivot and gets under him for the. I mean, that just made us look. Oh, pitiful.
Yeah,
pitiful. I don't really know what else to say about this game. It's kind of been harped on. I know if you've been on Twitter, you've seen all the negative takes, and it's hard to disagree with all of them. But the good news is basketball is a long season, and I try not to freak out about road losses. Excuse me. The problem with this road loss is it was especially ugly, and it's hard to move past for so many reasons. But you do get a chance to respond against Auburn on Saturday. I mean, you get a midweek against Vandy. Thankfully, it is away. That could be ugly just because naturally. And then you get Missouri, Alabama, Kentucky all in a stretch. And then, I mean, Texas A&M isn't a great ball club, but they got 6 men on the court, so that makes it difficult.
Yeah. I don't know. I just – last night was rough. I mean – how does Olivier have the game he had and then turn around?
Yeah, drop the headband, bro. We're done with the headband. We're out. Decline. I liked it. I hate it. Move on.
And I have a stat right here, and it's going to make you want to throw up. Tennessee's 3 best players, Zakai, Santi, Josiah, 10 for 42 from the field. That's 23.8%.
That should tell you those 3 shot 42 times. That should tell you how early we're shooting the shot clock. I mean, we're getting nothing valuable out of possessions.
No,
we're not even getting decent looks. Like we're just we're shooting the first thing we see.
Our offense, it seems like, again, it was last year too. It was throw it around, like across court, just keep reversing the ball. And, you either throw it down low and our bigs aren't going to throw it back out. Throw it down low, or it's Zakai who blow past somebody and maybe he finds somebody open, or maybe he tries to go up for a layup. That's our whole entire offense. And Tyreek Key, man, can you do something? Please.
Well, that's another kind of problem going into last night. Is it's just like not anyone on that roster was due for a good night. I mean, I know you tweeted about a walk and it was frustrating, but he comes in and he earns 2 hard fouls to get. You kind of like that, but you also can't have him within 60 seconds, 90 seconds, whatever it was. That can't be the case. You're just working guys to the bonus. Jonas Adu doesn't look great, especially on the offensive end, but yeah, you got nothing for anyone. You got nothing from anyone. Urosh gets an and one, and that's all of his points for the night.
Yeah. And then he flexes in their face, and then he does nothing the rest of the game.
Yeah, see, that's the bad look about that thing is like, hey, man, don't almost earn a tech and then don't score the rest of the game, brother. That ain't cool.
If you're gonna talk, you better back it up. And yeah, that's it.
I would have loved it if you went for 8 after that.
Yeah,
give me just 8. I don't win us the game. I just want 8.
You can't. That can't be your only highlight.
100%.
I'm just worried. We're here in February and having these type of games. Hey, we're a month away from big boy basketball. Like win or go home.
Yeah.
So that's what's frustrating for me. This team could beat anybody,
and it's a veteran
team.
Team.
Lose to anybody.
We're not sitting here looking at like a bunch of freshmen on this roster. Trying to figure it out. This is a veteran team. They should be used to going on the road.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I officially hate blondes. By the way, wow, I can't believe we haven't talked about this.
Was she the
that
blonde?
girl? I guess. She sounded like a blonde. Sorry to all the blondes out there. I love you all. I wanted to strangle that girl.
I mean, good God. I mean, why is she even? I have so many questions. I mean, she must be a die-hard fan because, I mean, that team is terrible. And she's just going on and on about Zakai being small. There's no way somebody hasn't teased her for something. She's either really big or she's smaller than Zakai.
Yeah, that girl's like 6.
She sounds like she has little man syndrome. She really does. And Caleb, what a picture from Caleb there. We'll try to get him back in here in a second. He looks frozen. Can you screenshot that? That's pretty sick. I like that picture. I'm gonna use that. Yeah, man, just rough night. Rough night. And again, kind of what Caleb was saying. It doesn't help that you have Auburn coming up. He's back.
Is this the right pose?
You're good.
All right. I thought it was gonna be like a 40-year-old woman just on the court with her husband and 18-year-old son just chewing out Zakai. I was so confused.
Yeah, I thought it would be a much older lady.
She had that like I've smoked for at least 15 years sound to her.
She had just a little bit of something. It wasn't like girl. It was like,
oh, it was a woman. I thought it was a woman.
Yeah.
For sure. There was
yeah, she sounded like the girl off Dodgeball that took the beaver tranquilizers.
Bernice.
Damn it, Bernice. Also, like, at some point, does somebody just like, hey, lady, we are right here, and everybody can hear your idiotic ass.
Yeah, at what point does a producer just walk up to her and, hey, your parents have their head in their legs at home, embarrassed right now.
Yeah.
You've been on TV, they can hear you. Let's drop the level down at least a little bit or move, please.
Yeah. You're given, I mean, people already think Gainesville is a trashy place, and you know.
What was it? The lady right behind the announcers, or was there a mic under the basket or something? That's what I never quite figured out.
I mean, she was right there next to whatever it was picking up, because you could hear her over everything.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. It wasn't fun to watch.
Yeah, somebody needs to take her BART box out.
100%. 100%. All right. Well, good time to move on. That's it for Gainesville. That's all I've got, at least. I don't know if you want to.
I mean, I would love to move on.
All right. Perfect. Let's talk happy news here. Tennessee Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Tennessee Mount Rushmore. I thought this was interesting because I think Tennessee athletics, you could go with coaches and players.
Like, I didn't even think about coaches. I think
it is Tennessee athletics for whoever, however you want to do it.
Anybody? Kenny Chesney on there?
Kenny Chesney's there. Yeah, Dan Wolken, Mike Hamilton.
Mike Hamilton. Danny Wolken. Danny, is that his name? Dan Wolken? Danny Wolken? Dan Wolken? He would have something to say about how wrong it was for the environment if Tennessee tried to like put him on a mountain.
Oh yeah.
He would have some insane negative take.
So I kind of went like I did one for each sport.
So all right, if I'm gonna include coaches.
Okay.
I didn't do one for each sport. I'm gonna have to include some people more than coaches. A little back and forth here. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think you can put any statue on campus without putting General Nealand on there. That's my first head.
Okay, I like that. I think basketball. I got to go Chris Lofton.
I like that. Please layup.
I mean, I know that's kind of a recency bias, but This is my Mount Rushmore, okay?
Yeah, we're putting this in Landon's yard. This is going. This is going to be a slide into your pool. It's going to be Mount Rush. It's going to be Chris Lofton's head.
Yeah, above ground pool. American
Exactly.
AF.
This guy's from the suburbs.
Yeah.
My second one, I'm going to go still non-player. I think a lot of Tennessee fans would agree with this, maybe not be on their personal ones. It's John Ward. A guy synonymous with basketball and football. It's John Ward.
Mine's another recency bias. How do you do baseball and not do Tony Vitello?
Dude, is it too early? That's my only hesitation. He's only been here for what are we going on? 5 years? I can't do math in my head. Six, right? Six.
This will be a
yeah.
six.
Well, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how do you not?
Well, the women won't complain. That's for sure. Especially if it's true to life.
Yeah, you want to make it look appealing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sex appeal. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. It's just, recent, like you said, he's at least Chris Lofton, he's hanging in the rafters now.
Right. Tony will too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe not in the rafters, but he'll be recognized in some.
So I'm looking at this, man. I've only got one player on here. I've only got one player.
Okay.
So I'll go my last non-player. And it goes back into, I don't know how you tell the story of Tennessee athletics, specifically Lady Ball athletics, without Coach Pat Summitt.
That was a good one. Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I feel like Mount Rushmore should tell the story. And from, like you said, it's my personal one. And it's Pat Summitt. I
like that. I actually have Pat Summitt too, but for the sake of us going back and forth, I'll go somebody else.
That's right, you will.
I'm going to go Peyton.
Oh, all right. You got me. You got me there.
I got your last one.
That was a good 3-2 pick right there. That was a good pick. Solid pick. Like you said, how can you can't talk about Tennessee, especially when you're making it recognizable to the entire country. And then Vol Nation as well, obviously, but you want someone to come into Knoxville and look up at the bluffs. What were the other names for it? Can't remember.
The Summit.
The Summit. You got to have Peyton Manning.
It's the Summit. It's not the Bluffs.
I can't disagree. I don't know why I call it the Bluffs, but
I think that's what
people like that. Non-Knoxvillians call it the Bluffs. I think it's technically the Bluffs. I think it's Cherokee Bluffs. But
yeah, fart noise.
Great one. My substitute for that. Oh, I'm battling between a few here. It's Butch Jones. I'm just kidding.
Definitely.
Dylan's face is frozen on a laughing face, and I just want to know what we said. They got it stuck. I would like to be updated to that.
He's
not frozen on your screen?
No.
All right. I think I've got to do this one. It's Reggie White.
Okay. That's hard to beat.
Reggie was probably my number 2 behind Peyton. There. It's just one of those names that I think carries a ton of weight across the country. I don't know how many people. So let me ask you this: how many people do you think know Alvin Kamara right off the top of their head went to Tennessee? Non-Tennessee fans, maybe not. Let's say non-SEC fans. Like they know who he is in the league.
Going to claim him, so
right, Alabama built, baby.
Oh yeah, probably not a lot.
Trying to think of another good name in the league. They probably know Jason Witten. They may or may not. He was at the Cowboys so long, he's probably more synonymous with Cowboys.
Eric Berry.
Eric Berry was up there for me. If you told me all player one, Eric Berry's probably on mine.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people remember Reggie White in college, and so I think his name's synonymous with Tennessee.
Yeah. I was also going to go Johnny Majors.
Yeah, that one was up. That's a great one.
Yeah, if it wasn't for General Nealon, of course, I would probably go. And Philip Fulmer kind of tainted his
Yeah, we would if
the
he
80 thing.
if he got built his before 2020, you probably got to dynamite that thing off. I think,
Yeah.
especially since he took the buyout. I think
Hey,
that
can you
that
imagine how long that takes to get a dynamite off something? I mean, it took us almost a year to get a crane. I mean, it would take us freaking a decade to get that thing blown off.
Davenport would still be trying to figure it out, man. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, if Philip Fulmer just quits with Jeremy Pruitt, I probably don't have the disdain I have for him. The taking the buyout is so just egregiously stupid.
Yeah.
What do you need that money? Get out of here, dude.
Or him saying, we had good recruiting classes.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is an all-time line. I can't believe Tennessee didn't get trashed more for that. I would use that against us. And listen, I'm not a proud man. I would have taken the money too, but you're Phil Fulmer.
Yeah.
I hold you in higher standards than I do myself.
Yeah, I mean, he won a natty. He was an All-American here. Like, everything was set up. I mean, I guess it's the Tennessee. Like, he is Tennessee to a T. It's got to come down sometime.
I love that Philip Fulmer would, could have been on there. That's my favorite part. But Johnny probably wouldn't allow it, so that's the kicker.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from Mount Rushmore? I saw like some Candace Parkers on there.
Yeah. One of those.
Someone I saw Monica Abbott.
I saw Doug Atkins on there.
That's a great one.
Al Wilson, I saw him a couple times.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Someone's already got Danny White up there, man. All right. Smokey. I'm all for a Smokey statue. We have like 3. I'm not crazy about those around campus.
Yeah.
You know what they remind me of? Do you remember that game? It might have been a more online game, but it was on Facebook for a while where you like create a university and build up like athletic programs. It reminds me of that.
That was fun. What was it like?
It was all
U-Town or University
like
Town? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I've got Todd Helton on here.
Yep. Condridge Holloway is another one I saw.
Good one. Saw Drew Gilbert without the reference to all 4 being Drew Gilbert.
Yeah. I can't really think. Yeah.
Oh, Bernard King.
Allen Houston. I feel like I saw Allen Houston on there too.
I freaked Ross Kivett out. Have I told you the story? I think I have. Ross Kivett out one night. I was watching the new episode of Ted Lasso came out, season 2, new episode. And the first one is Goodbye Earl, because the mascot for AFC
I
Richmond
remember
dies.
this. He texted us.
I tweeted Rip Earl and talking about that. Like, it was at like 1 a.m. when I just watched the episode, and he was like, dude, what happened? I didn't know he died.
Yeah, he was like, Earl died.
Yeah, I was like, oh gosh. No.
Oh god. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So do you like the gold chain? For those of y'all, I don't
you are wearing it.
But I am wearing it today. We're going to Vegas, so I had to get a gold chain. What do you think about it? Leave in the comments what you think. I think it looks cool. My wife said she doesn't like it, but she said I look like a douche. Which,
dude, don't listen to her.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, but don't you always kind of look like a douche?
And it's my dad, so like if somebody's like, "Where'd you get that?" I'll just be like, "Well, it's my dad's."
Are you gonna like act like he died or something? You're wearing it and like
no, I shouldn't do
memoriam?
that. Maybe I shouldn't say it's my dad's, or it is my dad's. That kind of sounds like he bought it for me, which sounds bad too. That sounds
I like it. I think I didn't even notice it. I was gonna ask you why you weren't wearing it, man. I forgot, but I didn't even notice it. So yeah, no, it looks good. I think you should keep it. I think it should be a full-time thing. I'm a little disappointed it doesn't have a cross on it, but get with
his had a charm. It was a baseball.
There you go.
But I wasn't gonna do that.
Love that. You should. I want to see Dylan's gold chain. I'll have to get that later in the show.
He's got kind of a thick one. He's got it's thicker than mine.
Dude, I wanted one. Didn't have time to get one. Totally forgot. But I'm gonna have to go chainless. I'm not gonna snatch. That's the good news. I'm gonna snatch this. I'm gonna snatch that.
You can, dude. It'll like rip my neck off before you snap.
I'm snatching that chain. Snatching it.
You know, keep to lead my ass.
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
All right, let's get into top 10 recruiting class.
What does Josh Heupel have to do to get on your Mount Rushmore?
I don't know. I was thinking about this today. Like, dude, like
Win an Addy?
Well, like if Tennessee continues on this run, like you hope they are, with the offense that they're running, I mean, does Hendon Hooker not like do a little something for you that's just like, man, he propelled this football team, and Josh Heupel deserves all the credit in the world for that as well. But without Hendon Hooker, Tennessee isn't where it's at.
So someone sent me this. This wasn't a question, but I was going to read this in our listener questions segment. Someone sent this to me. I think someone compiled this on Reddit or Twitter. I can't remember. But using Hendon's final stats, all QBs from 2017 to 2020, we know who most of them are. 59 TDs, 37 interceptions. Hendon Hooker, 58 TDs, 5 interceptions in just 23 games. The other one was 47 games.
That's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the touchdown's obviously quite impressive. You know it's going to happen in Heupel's offense. The biggest thing, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, didn't put it in harm's way.
Like you said, that's a guy you just wish you'd had for 4 years, man. I don't know if he would have played all 4, but you would have loved to have him on your team. Yeah,
and if he gets to finish out that Vandy and Clemson game, I mean, he's going to have what? 6? You can add 6 more touchdowns, probably 0 interceptions the rest of the way. I mean, that's unreal.
Time for Bazooka Joe.
I hope he gets drafted and goes to a place where he can be utilized. I don't know if he's ever a starter in the NFL, but I mean, you got to fall in love with a kid. Just having him around your program is just gonna make it better.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if enough. People have highlighted it, obviously, but I don't know if enough has been said about the relationship Joe and Hendon had to, and how they were competitors, obviously fighting for QB1, but also how they were not just like cutthroat competitors, but pushed each other as well as friends. And Tavian Jackson, I don't know if you heard his presser at Indiana, his first one, and he kind of talked about that relationship and how they helped him along and how special that QB is. I mean, obviously, Hendon being good and Joe being good behind him too. But I mean, you got to wonder how great Hendon is if he doesn't have that kind of presence, and vice versa too. You've seen the growth with Joe Milton. I'm not saying he doesn't get better after Pitt last year, but you got to ask the question. So that QB room's been really special the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sway away from top 10 recruiting class here.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I think it needs to be talked about, and him getting to be at the Senior Bowl is cool, and just seeing guys compete in that was awesome. I guess it's tonight. Yeah, it's tonight. It's actually going on like right now. I don't.
Oh, he's not playing too.
He's not playing in it. I don't think.
Isn't the Vegas? Is that the NFL Players Association?
Oh, maybe the Shrine Bowl tonight. Maybe the Shrine Bowl's tonight. Yeah.
The one in Vegas, I'm pretty sure is tonight because I told Landon, I said, I wonder if we'll bump into old JB out there or not.
Yeah, Jeremy Banks, Jerome.
Landon already said he's buying drinks for Tennessee players in that game. So find us.
Yeah, I got you. If you find me, I'll buy you a drink.
But yeah, to rein in a top 10 recruiting class, and I think you look at it and you're like, with success this year, you wish it could be better. And I think it's just the nature of the beast and what recruiting is now. 2024 is kind of what you're eyeing down, but to finish there and was that 4th in the SEC? Is that right?
Yeah.
4th in the SEC
on LSU, Georgia, and Bama.
I mean, you got to be really pleased. First off, Bama's Bama. It's going to take a lot to surpass them. Georgia and LSU are 2 of the biggest recruiting hotbeds, and so it's going to be tough to uproot them often. So to be kind of in the mix, I wouldn't say with Georgia and Bama yet, but kind of be in the mix there with LSU too. Like that's something.
Yeah, like you're closing in, and that's what you're trying to do is stack classes like this. You got your quarterback who just happens to be the number one player in the country, and you got a lot of nice defensive pieces. You got some playmakers on offense, but I kind of really like what they did with the interior line, the defensive line. I mean, both sides of the ball. I think you did a really good job. Now, again, like you got to build on that, and most of these guys were committed before Tennessee even played a snap this past season. So I think you're really going to reap the benefits of this season in this next class, and hopefully you're able to carry that over and keep landing these top 10 recruiting class because that's what Georgia did, right? I mean, I know they're in the top 5 year in and year out every year, but that's how they got to where they were stacking classes and not missing. There's a reason why TCU had no chance against Georgia. I mean,
well, to be fair, there's a lot of reasons, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, talent was the main thing, and
Right.
and they just didn't have it. And to say you're going to have the same amount of talent as Georgia is probably pretty steep, but you beat Alabama without having those. And I know Bama probably they weren't what they normally are, I guess, to a certain extent, but they're still a really good football team. And, Tennessee single-handedly kept them out of the college football playoff.
Yep.
So
I guess we can take pride in that. South Carolina's enjoyed that, so why not us?
Right. I mean,
I'm just kidding. That doesn't make me happy at all.
And another kind of stupidity I have was, going back to South Carolina, ESPN, they have our players so low that we within ESPN's rankings, we have a lower recruiting class in South Carolina.
That makes
That's
sense.
how stupid ESPN is.
So do we have a lower one than everybody in front of them too? So do we finish, what would that be, 6th in the SEC? 7th? 6th.
Yeah, I think Florida and South Carolina would pass us, yeah.
That's hilarious. What about A&M? No?
Yeah, they were ahead of us too. Yeah, we're 7th.
That's hilarious.
I mean, they had Nico 32, and he's 1 or 2 in everything else. I mean, whatever.
Hey, like we said, we mentioned it after early signing day. It doesn't matter now. Rankings don't matter. Obviously, you like the top 10 recruiting class, but just play ball.
Now you're trying to see who can make an impact. Who's your Joshua Josephs? Who's your Squirrel White? Tyree West, or guys on special teams like Elijah Herring, Caleb Perry, Jordan Thomas. Who are some of those guys that can come in and make an impact? Because I mean, now you have to get them on campus. You also got to keep them too,
right?
And they got to, I know you sell them on a vision, but you got to continue to sell that vision while they're here now. I mean, the transfer portal is, if guys don't like it, they'll just dip. And that's what happened this past year. Jordan Phillips, Justin Williams-Thomas. I think there was somebody else, but I can't think of who it is.
Impact or future impact. I don't know. I think that was it.
Well, guys that just they didn't get enough playing time, they thought, and or maybe they saw the writing on the wall and left. I mean, Jordan Phillips played a little bit, but I mean, I don't know what he was wanting. I mean, guys if they don't play their freshman year, they think they don't have a chance. They're not sticking around. They're not sticking it out.
Right.
I mean, most of them aren't even sticking out to spring practice. Hey, can you just wait to see if you might, get some playing time before you just up and leave?
Yeah, I mean, turnover's crazy for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Not Hendon's turnovers, to be clear.
True. Facts. All right, that's kind of all I got for the talk. I mean, it was the first one since 2015, which I think that was Tennessee's. Who was in that class?
God, who was in that class? That wasn't the class before that was the legacy class. All right, I'm about to look it up. I hate you did that now. God,
Yeah.
you killed me.
It wasn't the Josh Malone class. That was the legacy class.
Jeez, who did come in 2015?
Oh, that was Khalil McKenzie and Shot Total. That was that class.
Yeah. Good call, Dylan. Good call.
Yeah, Kyle Phillips, Shot Total, Preston Williams, Alvin Kamara, Drew Richmond. That was that class. Jawan.
Yeah, Jawan was in that class. Love you, Jawan, but Brody football had better stats in high school.
Sherian Jones, Darrell Taylor, Sean Kelly, Quay Pico, baby. He's back.
Justin Martin, never forget.
James
Quentin
Hall.
Dormady was in that class.
Jock Bruce.
John Kelly was in that class. I thought he was legacy class. Okay. Tommy Townsend, never forget. All right, well.
Tommy Townsend's still in the league, isn't he?
I'm sure he is, yeah. He went to Florida after, right? Or does his brother play? Did just his brother play at Florida?
I think he played at Florida too, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Did you mention Jack Jones in that class?
Oh, I didn't say him, no. Was he in that class?
Yeah. There's a lot of talent come out of Nashville in that class, or Central, I guess, Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because I guess Jawan was technically from Jack Jones was technically from Murfreesboro too. And then you had
Kyle Phillips,
and then you said Malone was from the previous class. Never mind.
Vincent Perry, which he didn't finish his career. I don't know where he ended up. I think he went JUCO. But
let's just start naming off classes.
Yeah, that's fun.
I saw where Big Game Boomer posted each school's best recruit, and Ross Brown is still Tennessee's number one.
He can't be anymore, right?
He is.
Nico.
No, I think Ross Brown was higher rated.
That's false.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Well, probably because of ESPN.
Weighing it down.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
All right, let's get into. Is that kind of it? Is that all we had? Oh no, we had a coaching hire. Alec Abeln.
Yeah.
Offensive analyst played for Josh Heupel at Mizzou, and then went to UCF. Followed Jeff Lebby to Ole Miss, and then when Josh Heupel got the job in Tennessee, came over and joined Tennessee staff in 2021, and gets the go ahead. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think I'm not throwing shade at tight ends, but it might be your least important position to have as a coach. It's usually somebody else's title, like your offense coordinator, like Alex Kolish had it, or it's your star recruiter, or bagman if you're Brian Niedermeyer. So I mean, it's just I don't think it's a huge deal that he hasn't had on-field coaching experience. I think he's going to pick it up fine. I kind of like the inner circle thing that Josh Heupel seems to have going on. My question would be, why did it take so long? Why did he, if Alec Abeln was going to be your guy from the get-go, why did it take you that long?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened here. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, like you said, coming from an internal hire. But I guess you knew who your guy was the whole time. I don't know. Maybe you missed on some people, but I didn't hear any rumors. So I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't think he's been out there recruiting. So, if he was going to be your guy the whole time, why wasn't he recruiting? Or why didn't you just go ahead and make it official and get him out there recruiting if that's what you're waiting on? I don't know. It just felt – that would be my question. I mean, here, I'm going to trust Josh Heupel. He's hired 2 guys from within.
Sounds like you're doubting him right now.
Well, Kelsey Pope was, it looks like an all-star hire. And that was a guy no one really knew, kind of getting his first shot at being a on-field coach, at a big-time program like this. And he goes out and, you have a Blitnikoff winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's done a great job recruiting. He was big in Nathan Laycock, and, he was big with, Carnell Tate, even though Tennessee didn't end up landing Carnell Tate. I mean, he was big in those recruitments. And then Joey Halsley seems like he's going to be the same. I know he was an on-field coach already as a quarterback coach, but it seemed like an easy transition to make him the offensive coordinator once Alex Kolish left.
Right.
The one question I have for Alec Abeln is like, what's he like recruiting? Because I think, him being in this he knows the offense. He's been with it long enough. He's an offensive lineman, so he knows the blocking schemes, I'm sure, for everything. So I don't really worry about on-field coaching. I just, my question would be, can he recruit at this level?
Yeah, and I think you kind of alluded to that with being a tight end coach. That's what you're really looking for is, can you recruit?
Yeah. And he's got kind of his, work cut out for him this next season. You do, welcome back Jacob Warren, who didn't have to come back but decided to. Then other than that, your 2 other guys are McCollum Castles and Ethan Davis is coming off an ACL tear. So, one of those guys has to play behind Jacob Warren.
Right.
And, they like playing two tight ends. So one of those guys has to step up and be that guy. And so, I think he does come in and have his work cut out for him a little bit.
Yeah. No, certainly. Getting Jacob Warren back's big, though.
Agreed. Yep. But, they don't switch. They don't go for wide receivers. So there's a tight end pretty much every single play. So you definitely want to have some guys that are ready to go. And, losing Princeton Fant's going to be a tall task.
Yeah, especially like how versatile he was this year.
Yeah, for sure. And Ethan Davis, like, I don't know how far along he is in his, recovery from the ACL, but he's probably your most talented guy in that room. I haven't really seen McCollum Castle, so I guess I can't speak. But, when you talk about ratings and just being highly touted, Ethan Davis is that guy. But how far along is he would be a question going into spring practice.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Spring practice sneaking up on us. I feel like it's almost here. Almost. We'll see.
Oh, so did I tell you the story of what my wife tried to do?
I'm glad you're going to tell this, though, because speaking of significant others, I have big news. But you tell your story. Not that kind of big news. It is funny. I've got to tell it now. So I think I've actually showed it on here. The video of Emily at the drive-through zoo, the zebra. She got a DM on TikTok and Instagram today. And it was the producers for Ridiculousness. Like the official Ridiculousness account DM'd her. So that video is going to be on Ridiculousness.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you haven't seen the video, it's freaking fantastic. I'll play it one time.
That is the worst videos I've ever heard.
Dude, I love that video so much. I did want to leave off with big news because I love ridiculousness. I love Rob Dyrdek like that. I told her, I was like, your only stipulation should be that you get to sit in when they watch the videos, and you get to be.
Wait to see Chanel West Coast laugh at that.
I said you need to be Emily East Coast like that. You need to roll up in there. Oh yeah, Dylan brought up a good point. That is her. Everyone thinks it's a zebra. I still think the zebra's mounting, is leading, helping that noise. But yeah, she's the one screaming. That's her making that noise, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's a kind of a scary. Does she yell? She doesn't scream like that though.
I don't know if I've ever heard her scream at all. That's the best part.
Nice. Yeah, so my wife, great intentions, terrible execution.
I like how this is leaving off.
So she had the bright idea. Like we had the plan, like we're gonna clean out the garage when it got nicer outside.
Oh, what are we doing?
Well, I come home from work and her car's not there, but the garage door is wide open. I'm like, what the heck? So like she peeks her head out and I'm like, oh no, what has she done? I was like, first I was like, I thought she's been in a car wreck or her car's, somewhere. And she comes out and is like, so I put all the tailgate stuff in our back building, which is in our backyard. I was like, okay, thanks. But I drove it back there and the car got stuck. I was like, well, where's the car? She's like, it's in the backyard still. Oh my God. So like I opened the gate. Oh man, dude, it's in a mud pit.
How sunk are the tires?
It was pretty deep. Yeah, it wasn't great. So she's like, well, hey, it's fine. Like your dad's on his way. He thinks that, we can get it out pretty easily. And I was like, it's rained for like a month, right?
Yeah, didn't this girl grow up in Cott County? She should know better.
Oh yeah, she thinks cardboard boxes work. No, she had some cardboard boxes didn't work. A tarp didn't work. Also,
you're gonna have to go like plywood there, bud.
Like some yoga mats,
2x4s,
and these yoga mats are just sunk in the mud.
Those are
the
trash.
tarp is wrapped around a tire where she kept spinning.
Did she do all this before you got there?
Yeah.
So you get back there, there's just a tarp wrapped up like in the front tire.
I mean, it looked like a scene in The Walking Dead. And so my dad gets there, like he has some pieces of wood, so we try to stick those under it. Didn't work. We got some gravel from the driveway, put it down, still slid. I mean, we're pushing it. I mean, we have mud all over our hands, and it was splattering all over the house. So we called our friend Jeff, or my dad's friend, but I guess he's our friend too by association. He gets there and he has an Xterra and he's got a hook and a rope. Dude, he gets under her car, hooks it, just drives just like a second and it's out. I mean, we worked on that for an hour.
I figured that's what your dad was going to do. I guess he didn't have a tow strap.
Well, he had a tow strap. He didn't think anything was underneath her car. And if it was, he thought the rope would rip her front end off because it was down like this.
That makes sense.
So like there's a little drop off.
Yeah.
And we got it far enough. We got it like right next to the gravel, but it wouldn't go anything. We just kept digging in mud. So when he got there and he's like, yeah, don't wait till it dries up before you drive back there. I was like, Jeff, I was like, hey, come out here. Tell Jeff what you made on your ACT. She was like, why? I was like, just tell him. She's like, at 34. I was like, and this idiot, it's been raining for 2 months, a torrential downpour, and she just drove her car back there.
Ground was frozen, baby. What do you mean?
God bless. I was so mad.
When you put it in perspective like that, it does make that story just amazing.
Well, and like me and my dad are the same way when we're upset. Like we don't speak. Like if somebody were to film us like after Tennessee lost on the way back to the car, like not a word is said the entire time. And so Raven's like, I mean, it was just so awkward because like I just kept saying sorry and neither one of them responded to me.
I just should have left the car back there. Yeah, we'll scrap that.
That's what we should have done.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I hate driving in wet grass in my 4Runner that could easily get out. I just don't want to get stuck. Like I don't even want to like.
No, she drove a Kia Forte back there. When like I mean, it's like 100 yards or 100 feet. It's not very far. But
to be
she just wanted to
fair,
take it all in one trip, and I get it, but it's like,
and it is a lot of stuff. Like if she had done, also shout out to Raven for doing that, by the way. But if she had, sorry to just trash you in this segment. If she had done it by herself,
it's cool.
It would have taken several trips. So
yeah,
I get the thinking behind it. You guys just need like a gator, man. That's what you need.
Yeah, we need 4-wheeler or something
for that house.
But it would literally be like we would drive it like 100 yards, like 100 feet. That's all we would need it for.
Yeah.
Or she could have just waited till I got home. Like we could have done it like in no time. But good intentions, bad execution.
I've never heard that before watching Tennessee football.
Yeah, right.
That started our stupidity. You can hop in here, Dylan. We've got
let's get it.
That was a good start to stupidity. My first one, and you may know more about the situation than I do, Landon, but a former UNC player, he's an assistant coach at Pitt, Jason Capel, I think that's how you say his name. So he went back, and I guess they booed him and jeered him and gave him hell last night. Is that last night or Tuesday night? I don't remember. But anyways, Pitt plays UNC, and they're just giving him hell. He goes back in, and on his way to the locker room, he's throwing like a temper tantrum. Like, not quite LeBron-esque, but, LeBron level. And he at one point said, and I quote, "I held this shit together when Matt Doherty tore it apart." Someone immediately responded to that and was like, when he was the captain, they went 8-20. I was like, dang, dude. But I'm also like, if you're a former player and you're coaching against your school, you should probably expect the boos. That's just gamesmanship.
Right.
Why are you mad? Which apparently his brother said, who's the head coach at Pitt, said he's received some ill treatment before. So I don't know, maybe. But if all you did was get booed, what are you doing, man?
Well, didn't they won too? Pitt won.
UNC tweeted a picture of someone wearing, I believe his number was 25, and doing the tongue out, which I guess is a picture of him doing it, and he felt disrespected by that. What are we?
Yeah, we're just. What are we doing? Poking fun. Yeah, this is like. Stop being soft.
Soft.
That is soft. That is.
Speaking of soft, do you know the bowling video? Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah.
Do you know that he was getting hurt like a 12-year-old, and that's who he was talking to? He was talking like a 12-year-old in the crowd. Yeah, Pete Weber.
Not until that.
He was talking like a 12-year-old. Yeah, so I saw it today. I might not heard it on podcast before, but I'd heard that before. And someone tweeted like he would never make it a day in the NBA. I was like, I just saw a video of LeBron almost climbing to the stands the other night because a fan was chirping him. What are we talking about? We saw Malice in the Palace. What are we talking about? We've seen NBA players go into the stands.
It's NBA in the 80s. That was the only time that the NBA had any contact. I guess I don't know why people say that all the time.
Dude, that video of LeBron, I don't think we talked about it on this podcast, did we? I think we alluded to it. I mean,
I forget who it was, but somebody was like, if my French bulldog got hit by a car right now, I still wouldn't.
That was just, I get being pissed, but good night.
Yeah.
I love that they had to help him up off the floor.
Like y'all know, I've been a big LeBron stan. But dude, I can't stand him anymore. And maybe it's just like me just catching on. Maybe I'm just got the blinders on, but dude.
I think to side with him for just a second, we have been heavily saturated with LeBron content because he's been in the league for 20 years.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's, to be fair to that point, but I mean, yeah, it's got.
And maybe we saw the same thing with Tom Brady. Maybe at some point it just gets to you.
I think Tom Brady got more likable though.
I think
especially when he left New England.
Yeah, I mean, I guess winning trumps all. He got a lot of flack this past season.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. Well, it didn't help that his divorce was pretty much public.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I loved all the. I think I saw someone say Jeffree Star was in Wyoming with Tom Brady, that would be the biggest twist in the entire NFL season.
Yeah, that's a big story right now. Is who's Jeffrey?
I thought they
Star.
figured it out though.
I think
thought it was
everyone just
some
assumes it's.
Browns player.
Oh, I thought they were saying it was Carl. How do you say his last name? I thought they were just saying it was him. Also, did you see a picture of him in them in the bathroom? There's like a gun with a silencer on the counter.
What in the world?
I don't know what's going on.
The guy's like, how is nobody talking about this 9mm with the biggest
Also, like
silencer?
Jeffree Star was like, yeah, he's 6'6", and like he's giving us clues. Like, just say who it is. Somebody's eventually gonna find out.
Yeah, I can't decide if that's what I'm like. Is the player like in the closet? I want people to know because.
Or is it
I don't
just?
understand.
Or is like are they?
Just some random guy.
Yeah, or like it's not actually like he's not actually 6'6". It's just trying to get them.
Oh, he's 6'4".
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. Throwing out fake.
Tom Brady's 6'4".
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Giselle, come get your boy.
Back.
Dylan, yeah, that was a good one. Do that. Hit us with that.
I mean, both of them I think are stupid. I mean, if you're a big Barstool fan, or not so much a big Barstool fan, but Arian Foster fan, and listening to Macker Dosing, him talking about the NFL being rigged, and people just believed it. I mean, of course, there's people out there that think it's rigged to some degree, but you think they actually sit there and script it out like it's Hollywood? Come on.
Yeah, probably not.
You think you're getting that many teams, that many people on the same page? No.
I kind of like the thought of scripting those things out, though. All the wild things we've seen, just imagine if someone did write the script to that.
The memes that came from it were incredible.
Oh.
There was one, it was like Adrian Peterson the year that he got hurt. And the best one I saw was
no, it wasn't the year Adrian. It wasn't the year Adrian got hurt. It was the year he beat his children and got suspended. It was that year.
Okay.
Who wrote the
And
script
then
for Ray
there was
Rice?
one about OJ, and it was like OJ reading that he has to rush for 2,000 yards and then killing 2 people, and it's just like a meme. Somebody just being like,
the Aaron Hernandez ones were good. Matt Ryan, Super Bowl one was
Sean Watson.
great. Yeah, no,
You're
that's
gonna be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and then you're gonna
hadn't said a word in the writing room at the reading table.
and if those scripts are real, I mean, the Eagles lineman script, another stupidity. Like, come on, man. Did y'all see what he got hit for? Kidnapping and some other charges.
No, what?
11 days before the Super Bowl. Like, come on, man.
It was like child pornography.
Didn't you ever
Like
watch
rape.
a High School Musical? Keep your head in the game, man. 11 days out from the Super Bowl, and that's what you're worried about?
Thank you. Yeah, that was a solid point.
But what can you do?
Does he still get a ring? Is the question. I
Dude,
think we should ask.
I think you should. I think that is a fair question to ask, Landon. What did they do with? They never took OJ's Heisman away. That's all I'm saying.
They took Reggie Bush's.
Took Reggie Bush's, didn't take OJ's. So, Big T's line though about Arian Foster was probably one of the best one-liners I've heard in a long time. Just right off the cuff.
Yeah, he was complaining that it got overshadowed by Arian's just stuff going viral, which I agree. I mean, it was a great line, but nobody knows about it because of how crazy viral Arian stuff went.
At the end, he asked Arian, "How'd you feel when you got the script for 2015 or 2016 that you stopped believing in God and your career fell off a cliff?"
Damn.
Arian just went along with it. He goes, "It was 2015."
All-time exchange.
I want in my world. I think the NFL is script. I think in my own personal reality, I think it's exactly how Arian said. They don't practice; they just rehearse. I think that's it. That's what I want to believe.
I mean, it was great. Like, I mean, it got a ton of
215 million views.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you want to? I mean, we should do something like that. We should just make a rumor so absurd, but people believe it.
Jeremy Pruitt paid recruits in McDonald's bags. There's no way that anyone would ever believe that's true.
Caleb, it was Chick-fil-A.
My point.
Yeah, that's wild.
Jeremy Pruitt once got so drunk he wandered around a donor thing, that he was telling people that he could beat their ass. He's not a Butch Jones mother effer. That's a wild story. You tell me.
I mean,
Said we're gonna make something up.
I mean, yeah, let's say that.
Why not?
They both got fired, so maybe
Parody
it was
law.
Butch Jones.
Parody law. Yeah, that's not real. No one would ever believe that's true.
Butch Jones got a buyout. I mean, you're kind of worse than
Butch Jones is better.
Was it true that he's like potentially in the running for Alabama coaching somewhere in there?
There was talks about that, but dude, there's no way he's allowed to coach.
I mean,
I think they may try.
Maybe they do.
I think they may.
Maybe
but the reason the main rumor got started is because he bought a truck from his hometown in Alabama. People are like, "Oh, this is like right outside Tuscaloosa. It's 2 hours away." It's like if I bought a car in Nashville, I'd be like, "Oh, I mean, he's in the state of Tennessee. He might be connected."
To be honest, I couldn't even tell you what he's been doing since he was an intern there, or whatever he was back in the day.
Oh, you're talking about Butch Jones? I think you're talking about Jeremy Pruitt.
No, I'm talking about Butch Jones.
Oh no, there's no way he's up for an Alabama assistant job. No way.
I mean,
Where'd you read that at?
He's on the hot seat at Arkansas State.
It was somewhere.
Yeah, he's gonna be back running coffee for Saban here soon.
Yeah.
Round 2 at the Saban School of.
I bet they do try to get
rehab.
him. I bet they do try to get him as an analyst, so they don't have to pay him to be a defensive coordinator.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm shocked they haven't yet.
Yeah.
Guys, if we were in Vegas right now, we'd be watching a water balloon competition.
Dude, I looked at all the you can't buy just random stuff for the Pro Bowl.
What do you mean?
Like the skill challenge and stuff. Like I thought that'd be cool to go to, but there's like no tickets available for that. There's only tickets for the game.
The game's on Sunday.
Yeah, I researched.
I don't think the game would be fun. Yeah, there's nothing going on there's nothing going on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to watch like the skill challenge.
Right, but it's all throughout the week.
Hey, that might be good news. It means we'll be rubbing elbows with old Peyton at the roulette tables Friday night.
I'm thinking we end up at a craps table with Peyton Manning. I think it's possible. I think we should pool all of our money together because I don't think we could all single-handedly buy into a craps table. So I'm thinking we all pool our money together. We send Dylan. He looks like he could win some craps. And we just sit next to Peyton and Eli and win some money.
Got that gold chain, my boy.
Dude, Eli is pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't really know he was, but he's really cool.
He's a stereotypical little brother for sure.
Yeah. But he's also that he's just he's not some he won 2 Super Bowls, so I'm not taking anything. But he doesn't look like a guy that would win you 2 Super Bowls.
He beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
How many people can say they beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl?
He's goated.
Well, if Roger Goodell wanted you to, he'd just write it into the script.
Yeah.
True.
It was part of the script, so.
Hey, listen, I believe. I mean, the Mannings winning 2 Super Bowls. You mentioned it. Peyton doesn't exactly look like he could win 2 Super Bowls. Archie has a lot of pull in the NFL, man. I mean, he got Eli out of San Diego. I'm thinking maybe him and Goodell worked out something, got that written in.
He knew the writer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or the editor. Yeah, he knew somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those games aren't even filmed live. They're edited for our entertainment. All the fans are NPCs.
I know.
Birds aren't real.
Can they write in better overtime rules?
No, sorry, that's out of their control.
Plot holes. You gotta have a plot hole somewhere.
We should work out in the summer. We should work out the biggest sports conspiracies. Who was it for the Orioles that who was it that had the longest appearance streak?
Wait, what?
Who was it for the Orioles that had the longest appearance streak?
Cal Ripken Jr.
Is it Cal Ripken? Okay. I thought that just didn't sound right. I thought maybe I was just reverting to my East Tennessee and Pigeon Forge area. Shout out Cal Ripken experience. But he was going to miss the game for – this is going to be a fun conspiracy to talk about. Sleeping with someone's wife. I can't remember. I don't know, something weird. And he was going to not play. And so they reported that the lights didn't work at the stadium and the game didn't get played so he could keep his appearance streak. It's a fun one to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I have heard that before.
Do you remember whose wife it was? I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
All right, well, yeah, that's what we'll do. Summer dead time. Baseball's over. We'll get some of our favorite sports conspiracy theories out there.
I like it.
Dude, side note, if y'all haven't seen it yet, I saw a video of Derek Jeter talking about how he like busted his slumps one year. And I think it was Jason Giambi like gave him a gold thong. Have y'all seen that?
I haven't, but Derek Jeter definitely liked to bust some slumps.
It should be. Yeah, go check your TikTok DMs because I sent it to you, and I said, "Is this your goat?" ?
Heck yeah, he's my goat.
Wearing another skivvies.
I'm wearing one right now.
Show us.
But another man's.
No, that's where that's crossing the line. Buy them new. Don't wear somebody else's.
I knew a guy who played football in a female's thong.
Who?
Several guys. I'm not gonna name names right here, but
going back to stupidity, can we talk about D'Angelo Gibbs just reappearing out of thin air and transferring to South Carolina? That man's gonna be 26 years old.
Is he really?
Didn't stop Stetson.
And he's probably not gonna start.
Transfer,
What about? We did talk about Stetson last week. Old Stetson.
Man, Georgia's had some issues. I hate to see it.
Yeah. Yikes.
They're still celebrating.
I don't blame him. I would too.
But yeah, D'Angelo Gibbs is like, dude, he never played here, so he really didn't transfer from Tennessee. He just kind of like, dude, are you ever going to play? No.
He was enrolled in school at one point. Good for him.
Yeah, I think
they should make a secondary portal for those who don't play.
In 2019, he was a practice player.
I don't think that has the same benefit of being an NFL practice player, but I don't write the scripts, so I'm not sure.
I don't know.
As long as you're getting paid.
All right, guys.
All right, boys.
Anything else?
If you're in Vegas this weekend for the Pro Bowl, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
That's why we're going. We're covering the Pro Bowl. No, Dylan's getting married.
Dylan is getting married.
It's coming soon. It's getting here sooner and sooner this weekend. Honestly.
Hey, Landon, we talked about getting you to play golf. If it works out, you got to play golf the Friday before Dylan's wedding. So you might want to start practicing.
Dude, I'm a show.
I saw that swing last time you were out in Nashville. You need some practice.
Shit.
I need some practice too. So don't take that derogatorily. But
I'll hit it over that mountain.
Well, good news. You'll have a chance at Top Golf. So.
Oh, we're just playing Top Golf?
Yeah. No. In Vegas, we are.
Yeah.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Where's the itinerary? Okay.
I'll send it to you.
You didn't send me the itinerary. You sent me like, we might do this, we might do this, we might do this.
Landon, go check the group text. The itinerary is in the group text.
Did you just send it like recently?
No, I sent it probably a few weeks ago, didn't I, Dylan?
Yeah, I know you sent it to me. I don't know if you sent it to the group, but
I sent it to everyone because I pulled it out of there the other day. I mean, I guess I'll resend it because Landon can't keep up.
We all know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, that's just not true.
Yeah.
Except for you know what? I'm back with you. Yeah, that's the that I was referring to.
We're taking odds on which one we lose. It's between Dylan and Landon. So we'll have those betting odds up tomorrow on the plane.
You run away.
Have I ever been lost?
Yes.
Have I ever been lost? Missing and lost are two different things.
What? It's the same to me.
Oh, you can't change the definition of things to fit your personal life.
If you're not with me, you're lost / missing.
Are you the leader?
Yeah.
Well, then you're a terrible leader if you're consistently losing two
I guess we're
people.
talking about it.
I don't know why you always try to run away from me. Is there something about me? I mean,
Yeah, it's all you, man. I'm sorry. I didn't want to have this conversation like this, but
all right. I'll see y'all in the morning. I hate you guys.
we won't see Dylan until the afternoon. But
Bright and
Yeah,
early.
right.
Well, technically, it'll still be the morning.
wait, are you actually taking a lift to the airport?
No, I was making a joke about.
Oh,
like,
okay. Okay.
He said who's getting a lift in. I thought he meant before the flight. I was like, this man ain't going to sleep. He's going straight to the gym after the show.
I went to the gym tonight. So.
Yeah, he was definitely at the gym tonight. He told me he was in his car. I was like, I know where he's been.
Yeah, that's where I was coming back from.
No, I knew.
Okay.
I know your
Hey,
schedule.
remember. I know the rest of the bachelor party's watching this show. So remember, first one to find me in the airport, free shot or beer on me.
Yeah, well, that's an easy win for me.
You have his location.
You're going to end up on the no-fly list. I just want you to know that.
Who?
As I'm leaving, you're going to be held up by flight attendants.
Oh,
I've got a plan. I've got a
you're
plan.
sitting next to me. You're going to be guilty by association if that's the case.
They can tell me and you aren't together. Don't worry.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a good Friday. Good weekend. Vols will try to get it back on Saturday. We'll see.
I guess we won't be back Sunday. We'll be back Thursday.
Yeah, probably Thursday. So hopefully the Vols get it back. Who knows? Don't trust them. Bringing the boat in, and we out.